Ching, 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 ching. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the pre-market show, 29th of Jan, 2026. My name is Mandela, and we are looking at a market right now that is just gold happy, gold crazy, metals wild, silver, gold. We saw copper popping off. Everything's just popping off today. I think we can spend some time today focusing on the metals. What's the story behind it? And also, most important question, I think, $1 million question is, where do we go from here? That's I think what is on everybody's mind. Looks like we have just gotten the continuing jobless claims here, coming out a little bit less than expected. So the expectation was for 1,860,000. And we got 1,827. So less continuing jobless claims is usually a good sign for the labor force. Also down here, jobless claims, 4-week average, and we have non-farm productivity coming in line. So not a whole lot from the data front as of right now in pre-market. We still have another hour until we get the New York Open. Things are looking pretty spicy today, post-Fed day. We've had a lot of earnings as well. Yesterday, we had the likes of Meta. We also had Microsoft and, of course, Tesla, which is no longer just a car company, getting more and more into robotics. So without further ado, I think it's time to get over to the show. All right, for those of you who are joining us for the very, very, very first time, my name is Mandela. We do these each and every Thursday and Friday, and we give you our thoughts going into the market open. Usually an hour before, we have what's called the Fed wire that usually comes out, and then we sometimes will get some data, so that gives us some volatility, and we have a bit of a time, a good amount of time to prepare ourselves for the New York session. And that's exactly what we're going to do right now. So if you are interested in joining our free prize giveaway, we are giving away one account for $5,000, and it will have your name on it if you win. In order to enter, have a look in the description to this video, and you'll be able to fill out a form. That form will enter you into the live draw. And what I'll do is I'm going to put in the top left, I'll put the link to that form, and as a result, you can just scan the QR code in the top left. All right, I'm gonna put some music on because it's one of those Thursdays where I think music is warranted. Just a little bit of music in the background to help us get our groove on today. Here we go. All right, now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. All right. Feel free to post in the live chat. As always, just a special thank you to everybody who is joining us today. We do have a special announcement coming up in a little bit as well. So we're going to be announcing a special announcement. So you're not going to want to miss that either. We'll be talking a little bit about that a little bit later on in the show. But if you are looking at sharpening some of your investing and trading tools, I think this announcement will be very, very helpful for your trading journey. All right, let's see who's with us first before we start taking a look at gold and silver. Looks like we have quite a good group of people here. Looks like we have General Mortala. Hello, General Mortala. Top of the morning to you. Top of the day to you. Thank you for joining. Also, we have Isildur. Isildur's in his house. I hope I'm saying that name right, Isildur. Thank you for joining us today. Also, can you take a look at Chinese index and some stocks today, please? HSI, Baba, Baidu. We can definitely have a look at that. Isildur. Thank you for asking. We'll pop that over there for now. All right, so also we cannot forget the live chat for City Traders Imperium. So for City Traders Imperium, looks like we have Tesla Trader in the office and ready to go. Also, Waris Ahmed is also present in the office. Make sure you have your coffee and everything's ready to go. And then is only trading using order block. Okay, we got a question here from Mir Sabir we'll get back to. Okay. All right, let me know if you're experiencing any freezing. Just got a message here. People saying that the actual feed is freezing a little bit. Interesting. I was talking to a good friend over at Macro Markets yesterday, and actually today as well, talking about the freezing of the feed. So let me know if there is any, if you are experiencing any issues with the feed, please just send me a message. Maybe what we can do is clear it up a little bit. If you are not experiencing problems with the feed, then that's even better. Okay. I was using hotspot earlier, so that might be part of the problem. Yes, it is lagging. Okay, what I might do is put down the camera for now. How do I do that? Okay, let's try that for now. All right, just a reminder to enter the prize giveaway before the end of the show, and we'll make sure that you are you're entered. So let's have a look at some of the charts. You know what we're gonna do first? We're gonna have a look at GOLD. That's what everybody wants to look at. So this is gold, and there are three main things that we like to look at. The first thing is positioning. This tells us the positioning of the gold traders in the futures market. They are required by the CFTC to report their positions on a weekly basis. This is a representation of the commercials. This is a representation of the large speculators. And we can see how long or how short they are. And we like to use this as a positioning tool. And you can see the chart is pretty clear. I don't have to tell you. I mean, anybody new to the markets can see what has happened over the last few days and weeks. But what we like to look at is underneath the surface, what is happening, what is taking place to gold. And we can see here the commercials are still continuing to hold long positions. So this, I think, is giving us a good indication that there could be some potential upside here in gold. It can continue, and it can continue for a little while yet. We don't use just price. We also like to look under the hood, and we like to compare how long are the large speculators, how long are the commercials. And then on top of that, we like to look at the price action. So price action here, pretty straightforward. It's up and to the right. We've seen some incredible moves in gold. If we quickly go back, gonna just do a quick update on, I mean, I don't need to tell you this, but most people already know this. But if we look at the last year to date, so the last, what's this? We're the 29th of January. We're up 27% for the year of 2026. And a lot of people at the start of the year, they said you'd be crazy to go long gold here. You'd be crazy to go long silver here. And the crazy people have been handsomely and properly rewarded here. So what we're looking at is we're looking for this to change first. So the three things that we look at positioning, we look at price action, and we look at sentiment. Those are kind of like the three main things that we like to look at. I don't care so much about the price. I want to know how are the commercials who really move the market, how are they positioned? And then how are the large speculators who tend to be wrong most of the time, how are they positioned? And I can assure you that people are still trying to short this market. Last week, Saturday, also last week, Thursday, we talked a bit about how important it is not to try and get in front of a big trend like this. We've had countless people say that they're trying to short this. And anybody who has tried to short this market has basically gone underwater. And that's our message for today. You don't have to top ticket. You don't have to try and catch the highs here in gold. I know it sounds nice. I know a lot of people miss this move, and you're feeling like, okay, well, if I missed it, I can't chase it now. So the next best thing is to try and short it. And that's a recipe for disaster. I think if we eventually do get what we could call a little bit of a correction, I think it's going to give us an opportunity to catch it. So you don't necessarily have to short on the very top tick, and I think that's what will get you in trouble. So similar story over here in silver. We can see the positioning is also quite long. The commercials are still long here, and as long as the commercials are long, this thing is going to continue to rip. So I think, when you're looking at a short term, like most people like to look at a chart on a daily time frame. And we talked a bit about this last week, Thursday, with our good friend, James. If you're looking at it from a 1 day, so this is just today. Yeah, I mean, you could say very easily, look, I think this is a time for it to go down. Yeah, sure, go for it. But if you zoom out to anything further than a day, 6 months, a year, the trend has been resounding. And underneath the surface, like we keep talking about, the commercials who are really carrying this market are still long. So we could go a lot higher here. So that's basically my message here for silver and for gold. The more people want to short it, the more I want to hold on to it. And we actually have a very, very small, tiny gold position. Yeah. So if that position continues to grow, we'll be happy to hold on to it. Just quick question asking if it's still lagging. If it is, let me know, and then I'll switch over to the hotspot. If it's better, I'll keep it on this. Just a quick question: if you are seeing some lagging, let us know. Okay. All right, so we got a question here from Isildur. Can you take a look at Chinese index? And let's have a look at that then. So there's been a lot of messaging, a lot of sort of communication, I guess, about this let's sell US. And I guess to start that off, we can start off with just looking at a dollar chart. I think that's probably a good place to kind of start here. Here we go. So, and for those of you who are new to the channel, we do like to take a look at charts every once in a while. And we call this segment Chatting Charts. Chatting Charts. All right. So let's start off with the dollar first. So this would have been what we were calling a 3-year low. So we hadn't gotten below that since Feb 2022. We just kind of peaked below that a little bit this week. And we're keen to see, are we going to hold? It's also what we're looking at here as a potential upward trend line here. So if we see follow through here, there's definitely some concentrated and some serious selling of the dollar. And I think that's a setup for looking at other markets, emerging markets, European markets, Asian markets. And we have the HSI breaking out here. So Isildur's question, which we got a minute ago, is, can you take a look at Chinese index and some stocks today, please? Okay, so this is HSI breaking out like nobody's business, not making a lot of headlines, and I like that. I like it when nobody's watching. So I wouldn't mind this, One interesting way to play this is if you look at FXI, which is what I would call the closest ETF to getting in on that HSI move. Then we also got asked about BABA. BABA's here. All-time highs in BABA have been up around 319. And in pre-market, we're up. Looking at about an approach at 200 on Alibaba. And then the last one is Baidu. Baidu also looks like all-time highs coming in around 354, if I'm not mistaken. And we're sitting at around 157 on Baidu. So could be a good little risk to reward here if you want to maybe de-risk your portfolio out of the US. It's definitely something that I would keep an eye on here as we approach the end of the first month of 2026. All right, next question here from Iswilder. How can you check by our sales position, by commercials, speculators, the money that you are showing there? Is the data free? So there are numerous sources. Thank you for your question, Iswilder. There are numerous sources of commitment of traders. So I would kind of suggest finding that source that's right for you. I use a service that is provided to me. Actually, I forgot to put this up for the reminder of the free prize giveaway, top left. So I use a service that is provided to me by a good friend of mine, Jason Shapiro. So anybody interested in that information, Jason provides a really cool tool. You can check him out at just crowdedmarketreport.com for information from Jason Shapiro and his team. That's where I get mine. But also, there are various free technical analysis tools within TradingView. Also, if you check out our friends at Macro Markets, they also have a tool as well where you can get the commitment of traders. So in answer to your question, I use the report from Crowded Market Report, and that plugs directly into the TradingView, and that's how I get my information. Okay, I think we're ready for. Let's see, we got some more questions here over in the City Traders. Is early trading using order block good? This is coming from Mir Sabir. So Mir, I personally, I don't think using only one tool in isolation is, that does not just work for me. I know a few traders who it does work well for. I am not one of them. So if you do like using the order blocks, I would incorporate that with a few other tools just to give confirmation. We also have Harish here, Starboy. Haven't seen Starboy for a minute. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Is it better to trade gold or indices for prop firm challenge? So it depends. This is a question from Harish. If you are seeing volatility, which is tradable opportunities in gold, which we are seeing now, I would suggest for a prop firm challenge to go where the volatility is. The indices are not cutting it for me right now. Yesterday was a flat day. We were glued to the previous close in the S&P and NASDAQ for most of the day. So yeah, I would suggest you have to take the temperature of the market on the days that you're trading. And right now, this season that we're in, I think we're in metal season. And when you're in metal season, I think one of the best things that you can do is to focus on trading metals. So yeah, go where the flows are. You want to get long metals. You want to get long metals. This is a cool comic from our friends over at Hedge Eye. The bulls are getting into the metals. And that's, hey, that's how it goes. I wouldn't want to be the first person to short this. And if you have been shorting this, I think the next question to ask yourself is, what happens if this continues for a few more weeks? And I think if you are a risk manager, I think you don't have to be long it. You don't have to be long. You don't have to buy dips. You can be bearish, but you don't have to get short. There's a difference. You can wait on the sidelines for a top to form, for consolidation to build up. That is kind of how I would approach this. I've been there. I've seen things. This is reminding me a lot of a lot of the big moves that we've seen in other assets, where they're just going up, going up, going up, going up, and everybody's trying to jump in on the short side. So my message is very simple. The trend is your friend here. Can you make money shorting? Yes, you can make money shorting this, absolutely. But if this is going to reverse, and if this is going to pull back, it's going to give us more than an hour, more than a day for a pullback. You don't have to be a hero. That's my message. All right. Got some more questions here. We're going to take a break in a minute. You're welcome, Isildur. You're very, very, very welcome. And if you want some more information, you can always hit me up as well. But yeah, Jason Shapiro is great. He provides a great sort of look at the commitment of traders report, which we like. All right, I think it's time for an announcement. I think it's something that we've been working on, and it's in conjunction with macro markets. It's actually, I guess it's breaking news. We could say it's breaking news if we wanted. Don't get to use the breaking news often. So what we're going to be doing is a investing masterclass with yours truly. There are limited spaces available, but if you're interested, we'll be doing 4 workshops in the month of February, profiting from earnings, how to look at the commitment of traders and use that as a skill for your trading, and also options trading. So how do you kind of position yourself for success from an options trading standpoint, and then also looking at the opening range breakout. So more information to come for this. There's going to be 4 workshops, earnings, commitment of traders, options generally, and then opening range breakout. If you are interested, feel free to reach out to us, and we will provide a link in the description to this video if you would like to sign up for these workshops taking place in February. All right. Okay, we're going to be right back after this. Hopefully the lag is improved. And we'll be right back in give us about 10, 15 seconds. We're going to just refresh our drink, and we'll be back. Make sure you have entered the prize giveaway. And we'll have a look at a few more charts before we wrap it up. We know copper's moving. Also having a look at the yen, Swiss franc as well. And we've seen some interesting moves in uranium. So there's interesting ways to get exposure to uranium in your portfolio. And then also we'll try and see if we can get a quick look at Bitcoin before we wrap it up. We'll be right back with a pre-market show right after this. Welcome back to the pre-market show. We're here each and every Thursday. Yours truly, Mandela, here. Tomorrow, I'll be joined by my partner in crime, none other than Mr. Andrew, the Tesla trader. He'll be giving us our insights. He's probably one of the best prop firm traders that I know. So join us tomorrow as well. Andrew will be with us to analyze markets and prepare for what could be potentially a U.S. government shutdown. I noticed on Polymarket, they've decreased the odds of a U.S. government shutdown from about, I think it was 60% yesterday down to about 30%. So looks like we could have a government that is not shut down tomorrow, but we shall see. We shall definitely see. All right, so I guess first off, we'll have a look at Bitcoin. It's something that has, despite the US dollar weakness, Bitcoin has not impressed. It has not shown us any sort of major signs of strength. It hasn't showed us that it's ready to go. Everything else has. But Bitcoin is definitely lagging. If we have a look at the commitment of traders here, drag it over. So usually the commitment of traders report has been quite accurate for Bitcoin here. Large speculators were shorting in mass, and they got their face ripped off. This is basically what's happening in the metals right now. We're seeing the metals move higher, and we're getting everybody trying to short it. And this positioning is causing the commercials to get long. And as a result, metals are moving up, Bitcoin's moving up. Now, we see the weakness in the dollar. We see everything else starting to rip higher. And Bitcoin can't get off the mat. It's like a boxer that's just been knocked out. Interesting to also note here, the commercials, who are usually right, are net short. They've been a lot more short historically. But I mean, this is something to watch. So this is something that we're going to be watching over the next few days. Reminder that the Commitment of Traders report comes out every Friday, and it's based on Tuesday's data. So we are going to be watching this very closely here. But I mean, we look at what we said. First is positioning, which is showing commercials slightly starting to head short. Then we look at the price action. The price action in gold, sorry, I'm busy talking about gold. The price action in Bitcoin sucks. I don't care if you love crypto. This sucks. If you want to make money, if you're trying to grow your portfolio, it's not in Bitcoin right now. And maybe today it starts to rip again and we get above 90,000 potentially, and we stay above 90,000. But right now, it's not moving. It's not. There are a lot of other assets where you can definitely grow your portfolio other than Bitcoin. And I know a lot of people are saying that Bitcoin's not moving because everybody is over in the metals. And that's why, I mean, all I'm going to say is I'm waiting for this to kind of show me the money. Show me a direction. Show me something. We need to get out of this. This range here is from 100K or just shy of 100K down to the lows that we hit back in November of last year, around 80K. We've been stuck in this 20K range, which sounds large, but it's painful. So that's our thoughts on Bitcoin. As always, nothing that we say is financial advice. Remember to conduct your own analysis and seek your own financial advice before making any decisions based on topics mentioned in this show. We always have to say this because, some people think that we have all the answers and then go ahead and trade based off of our thoughts as of today, Thursday, 29th of Jan, 2026. And things change. Prices change. Markets change, opinions change. And Peter Brandt has a great quote. You can have strong opinions, but they should be loosely held. And so until Bitcoin proves me wrong and until I see some direction here out of Bitcoin, I'm basically going to wait patiently and see where it moves. But the story has been definitely the liquidity's there. We have the big bill that kicked in. We have the liquidity, the money printing, the regulation for crypto has never been this favorable. President Trump is endorsing crypto. The dollar is at a 4-year low. That's what we're seeing. So let's leave it at that. Okay. I think we're good. I think we're going to get over to the prize giveaway in a minute. But before we do that, I'm going to have one last look into, what do we talk about? So we talked about copper. Let's see. Not really a big move over in futures market, futures land. Not much going on. Let's see what else we got here. So copper making a move looking nice. Nice ETF for that is COPX. If you want to cop some of that. So it's all popping off, really. Nice move in copper. So it's playing catch up. Wasn't really moving. Let's go back here. So just kind of picked up in the last sort of 24 hours or so. So that's one that we're going to be watching today as we go into towards the weekend. And then also platinum as well. Platinum's been doing really well. Hasn't reached that all-time high just yet. But metals are where it's at. The bulls are long metal. Last one, let's have a look at yen. Haven't looked at yen for a little while on the show. But it's starting to kind of strengthen. The yen strengthening means that would be shown as a down move in the dollar yen chart. Do I have it the other way? Let's see. So this is the normal way that I look at dollar yen, and this is how it's normally quoted. But if we do it this way, this is yen dollar, and it's finally showing some signs of strength. If we zoom out, this is dollar yen, sorry, inverse dollar yen. So we saw after the interest rate decision, we had what was more or less a reversal day. There's been some talk about intervention. And yesterday, Scott Bessent, the U.S. Treasury Secretary, came out and said that the U.S. will not be intervening with the Japanese currency. However, that doesn't mean that the Bank of Japan will not be intervening. So this is one to watch. There are a few ways to get exposure to this. If you're using a Forex account, then obviously it's dollar yen, which is going to be the inverse of this. And then if you like the ETF route, there's a ETF FXY, so Foxtrot, X-Ray, Yankee, if you want to get some exposure to the yen. That's it. Also, here we go. So we spoke about oil, I think, last show. Everything's popping off except for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is stuck in the mud. I don't know. I want to say it's just a little bit delayed. This is, I think, based off of what's happening in the Middle East now. Thank you, Isildur, for that. So looking here at oil's finally starting to pop off. We were talking about oil leaving this narrow sort of channel or wedge, I guess you can call it. We had some squiggly lines in here, but once it broke through that, it's turning up. It's getting turned. So this is another one. Thanks, Isildur, for pointing this out to us. Oil's up about 3% right now, and let's see how it moves. There are ways to play this also. So if you're using a regular account, you may have US oil on there. This is what we call WTI, the WTI price. You also have the Brent price. And then there are also some ETFs as well that you can get exposure to, oil and gas producers. There's also this one called DIG, which is up in the pre-market as well. So let's see. Everything's popping off. We're gonna wrap up the show now. But before we do that, we are going to do the prize giveaway. It's time for the prize giveaway. Thank you to everybody who has entered today. And we are going to say no more entries for the prize giveaway. It is for a $5,000 account courtesy of City Traders Imperium. Okay, just copying and pasting everybody's name into the random name picker. And what we're going to do is we're going to ask for a drum roll, please. Thank you to everybody who has entered. All right, here we go. Drum roll, please, someone. Thank you. All right. And the winner of today's $5,000 CTI account is none other than Faz. Congratulations, Faz, on winning your very own $5,000 account courtesy of City Traders Imperium. You will be contacted directly by them with all the details that are needed for your account. So congratulations once again, and thanks to everybody who has entered. We will be doing this all again tomorrow. Join our show tomorrow, same time, same place. I'm going to be joined by my good friend Andrew, who is going to be telling us how his week went, telling us how his month went, and also looking at gold, looking at some of the topical headlines, and potentially a U.S. government shutdown, which is still, as far as I know, still undecided when we started. One thing I do want to leave you with is just, I think I can't stress enough how difficult it is when you've missed a big move and you don't want to chase it. So you think that the only thing that you can do is be a hero and pick the top and short at the top. There was a whale that opened a $38 million short on silver with 20 to 25x leverage. The liquidation price is $125. I think, yes, you probably aren't this person, but there are a tremendous amount of people who are trying to top tick this and who are trying to catch this top. And I'm just begging you, please, just, if anything, just watch the price. Watch for the price. The price action will give you an opportunity to short. The price action will give you an opportunity to short. You don't have to short it the minute that it hits the highest high. Also worth looking at, these all-time highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs. And then lastly, the commercials are still long this. The commercials are usually right. So that's what I'm going to leave you with that. Have a wonderful Thursday, everybody. We're here, like I said, to provide nothing but our opinions. So please remember, you are responsible for your investing decisions. If you like what you heard and you'd like to get a little bit more information about us, feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And also remember, we are going to be doing a investing masterclass. Look out for information about that in the description to this video. We'll be talking more about the commitment of traders, talking about earnings plays, options, and also the opening range breakout, which is the strategy that we use most often. All right, that's it for today, everybody. Have a wonderful day. I wish you a profitable day. Make sure that you're trading within your risk limits, your risk parameters. And until next time, happy trading.